In this video, we're going to show how to remove and replace your spirals on a G-Series stove. You're going to first start off by removing all your screws. So you're going to have 4 in the front and 4 in the back. And then you'll have 4 located around the chimney. And then you'll want to switch to your Robertson's bit. I remove these 2 Robertson screws on the side. So now that you have your roof all loosened, you have all the screws out, you're going to want to take a knife and you're going to cut around your lift hook as well as your fill pipe. So you just want to cut that all the way around. Once you have that all cut off, you're ready to lift the roof off. So you're also going to want to unhook the 2 different roof panels apart. So you just pull them out. And just lift that up. You can just rest it on top of the roof, and then your roof will start to lift. And now it works a lot better with 2 people, but you just lift the roof off and you can place it on the side. So now that you're located, you have access to your top access panel. You're just going to lift your insulation blanket off. And then using a 9/16 socket, you're going to remove all these nuts. And now that you have that, you can go ahead and pry this up. If you've loosened that, you can then come to the back of the stove. So now to get access to your spirals, you're going to first start by unplugging your fan motor and then removing the whole access panel for it. Then you can remove this access panel. Once you have this opened, you can see you have your spiral linkage here. So on a G4000, you have your 3 sets of spirals, and right above here is your actual access panel. So I'm going to take a mallet, and I'm going to hit it from the bottom because it's siliconed on, so it'll help lift it up. Now that that's removed, I'm able to lift off this panel. And now I have direct access to the spirals. So to actually remove the spirals, you're going to use a pair of pliers. You have a retaining washer on each spiral, or on each shaft. So you just want to go ahead and cut each one of those. You can pry it a little bit to give yourself some room. You can try to pry them off to reuse them, but in most cases they will snap, and then you should just replace them. So for that, I gave enough room where I can now use my pliers. I just cut it off. Now that I have that removed, I can go ahead and slide this linkage bar over. You'll have this washer there. And then from the roof, you'll now be able to pull them directly out. You can now remove the spirals directly from the top. If you are replacing spirals with new spirals, on the back of each G-Series stove, the set of spirals on the farthest right side from the back of the boiler will have to be trimmed 1 to 1.5 inches down due to an ash deflector located directly below it. So it'll need just a little bit more clearance so it doesn't jam up against that. So that's only if you are replacing them, you'll have to cut it. But if you are just reusing the ones that you have currently, then just make sure that you measure them and put the shortest set of spirals on the far right. So each shaft you'll have a washer and a retaining washer on there. So this is what the left side will be, and then we'll mirror that same on the right side. So after we slide it through the spirals, we're going to put one of those washers on and another retaining washer. So now to reinstall them, you're going to slide your spiral linkage through. As you're going through, you'll have to lift each spiral up just slightly and fit it through. Once you have it through, you're going to put your washer on, and then you're going to take your retaining washer. You're going to want to slide that on as well. So the easiest way to get that retaining washer on is by using a pair of vice grips and just lock that onto one of by the linkage arm to prevent it from sliding forward and backwards. So now that's locked in place, I'll use a 5/8 wrench and place this retainer washer inside the box end of it, or the closed end of it, and just slide it onto the shaft. So now that you got that on, you can release your vice grip. And now your linkage bar is locked in. Just to confirm everything's situated properly, you can grab your Easy Clean handle and just cycle it. And this just ensures that you have full range of motion. So before you reinstall your top access panel, what you're going to want to do is you want to clean off all the silicone from both the panel and the plate here. Just using a putty knife, just scrape all the silicone off so that you can have a fresh seal when you replace it. So go around and make sure you remove all the silicone on here. And then you're good to put more silicone on the actual panel here. It doesn't need a lot of silicone around here to seal. Place your panel back in, then you can start tightening up all the 9/16 nuts. Now that you have those, you can snug them all slightly. You should see a slight amount of silicone squeeze out wherever you tighten it. Now you can go ahead and retighten it. And you just relay your ceramic blanket on top. And now when you have your roof off, it's also a good time, or it makes it a lot easier to scrape off all the excess silicone. So when we go and put the roof on again, that it's got a clean surface. And we can, when we lay our new part of silicone, it actually seals better. Off the lift hook, and then off of the fill pipe as well. So now you got majority of the silicone off, you're good to put the roof back on. So you can pull these back over and reinstall these screws. So using a Robertson's bit, and switching to 5/16. And then you'll have 4 screws in the front to install. So now that your roof is on and secured, you can go ahead and silicone around your fill pipe as well as your lift hook. So now that you got your roof on and silicone, you can go ahead and reinstall your rear fan. So you have that installed. You can plug in your fan up here again. And now you can install your rear access panel. When we're tightening it, we're just doing a cross pattern to ensure an even seal. And that is how you remove and replace your G-series spirals.